Pisces, and welcome to my channel. Welcome back to those of you who have been here before, and welcome to those of you who have come over to find out what it's all about. Thank you for coming over to listen. My name's Colette. My channel is Inspiring Life Changes, and the reading I'm doing today for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising and Cusp energy of Pisces. If you don't know where those placements are, Pisces, there is going to be a free natal link in the description box down below so that you can go and check that out for yourselves. It is worth knowing because then you can get a bigger picture of what's taking place in your life on a day-to-day basis, astrologically, as well as being able to check out more of the tarot readings that are put out there for you as well. You can check out your moon and see the corresponding tarot reading for that, not only on my channel but on other channels as well. So your moon, your rising, your Venus and your sun sign. Obviously you know where your sun sign is, but you may not know which degree it's at, so that also helps to know as well, particularly as at this time, Pisces, you have Neptune still in your sign. It's been there for a long time. It is your planet, it is your home energy, and it's most comfortable in Pisces, so it's kind of making that whole Piscean 12th house energy at this time very much a part of what is happening in our world. All the craziness that we are kind of experiencing on one level or another is to do with this Neptune being in Pisces energy at this time. And also Jupiter has just entered into Pisces as well, so that is also going to magnify this energy for the short period of time that it's going to be there before it moves back into Aquarius, and then it will move forward again and enter Pisces fully at beginning of next year, I believe. So with all that being said, Pisces, what do I want to say next? First card, let's start with the first card. And what I was told as well, the words that came through for me while I was doing the meditation on the cards, I got very kind of, I wouldn't, depressed energy, maybe an energy of feeling quite low was probably the best way to describe it. It was like a sunken energy. It felt like somebody who was, or an energy that was being pulled down, dragged down, and the words that I got were, don't look down, look up. And I also got the word very strongly, believe, as well. So I don't know if that's going to resonate with any of you Pisceans out there. I will just say this is a general read, Pisces, as well, so the message isn't going to resonate fully with all Pisceans, but hopefully it will resonate with some of you out there enough for you to get something from the reading, which is also a good reason to check out your other signs as well, because sometimes you get a bigger picture, as I was saying, or your message may be elsewhere. So the first card that came out for you is the frog energy, frog spirit. Clear out the clutter is what it's saying, and it could have something to do with that energy that is dragging you down, that I was feeling quite heavily. In Native American mythology or belief, the frog is a healing energy because it brings the rain, or like basically when it rains, the frogs come out. And the rain was seen as being a healing, a cleansing, a clearing energy. So frogs were kind of connected to that for Native American Indians. But another message for the frog is also to literally clear out the clutter. So if that's in your cupboards or in your mental space, your emotional space, it's kind of saying it's time to have a clear out, time to get rid of what you don't need in your life. That can also relate to people as well, situations, things that aren't working for you anymore, time to clear it out. And of course Piscean energy, the 12th house energy, is very much about surrendering, letting go of things, that are no longer needed or relevant to you or nurturing for you, Pisces. So that's the message that came through for me. And the reading itself is set out in 3 sets of 3. So the first 3 represents your past energy. It can be your recent past, it can be a past from your childhood, or it can be anywhere in between, but it's something that's kind of connected to you now because it's creating your present energy, and it's what's going to go on to create your future energy as well. So it's a bit like a holographic kind of look at what's going on in your life, your past, your present and your future. Future, of course, can be changed. Nothing is set in stone, and that's another very Piscean mutable house energy as well. We're in very mutable energy at this time, with the solar eclipses both being happening in mutable signs, so you will also be feeling that energy quite strongly as well, Pisces, at this time. But we're starting the reading off here with the Queen of Cups in reverse, which literally has the Piscean symbol around her neck. It is a very Piscean energy. She works with the emotions, the Queen of Cups, but when she's in reverse, it's like she's not giving the love that she can. It's like she's holding on to it for herself, limiting, not allowing it to flow. Another thing with the Queen of Cups as well is that she is known as a cipher, and a cipher, or a mirror basically, means that this person reflects back at you your own shadow energy, shall we say. So the things that you don't want to look at, the things that you would rather not notice, you will see in this energy, but you may not want to kind of own it for yourself. So it can be an energy of projection, and it can be an energy of where she is very how can you put it, it's like you project onto her everything that you want or are hoping for in a emotional situation, but you may not actually get the result that you're wanting, because this person may not turn out to be who you think they actually are, Pisces. So this could relate to a situation, an emotional situation, where you thought something was going to be one way and it turns out to be another way. I'm getting quite a strong feeling for some Pisceans out there that this could also relate to a female member of your family, or it could relate to a relationship, but it feels more like possibly a mother figure, being a queen. But if it is a mother figure, it was a mother figure who was not emotionally in touch. She wasn't emotionally, and that could be because she herself had her own issues that she hadn't emotionally dealt with as well. So they could have also been projected onto you, Pisces, because as a Piscean, it's very easy for you to pick up other people's energies. You are very sensitive to this kind of thing, very psychically open, even if you're not aware of it. On a deeper feeling level, very intuitive, very knowing. And this person could also have had those abilities but not want to have anything to do with them. Or this could be your own energy here, Pisces. But it is, as I'm saying, in reverse. So there is a blockage here. Whatever is happening at this time, something is or was blocked, shall we say. But it is still affecting you. And we have, after the Queen of Cups, the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords is a card of stepping back, stepping away from something, trying to kind of make sense of something on a logical level. Yeah, understand something. But it is, again, it's in reverse here. So there may have been a difficulty with trying to kind of balance the emotions and the head energy here, which as a Piscean is not always easy, because the feelings tend to take over. But it feels like these feelings were ignored, or they weren't acknowledged, or they weren't valued. But this card can also be seen as a healing card, which could also be the frog energy here as well. As I was saying, frogs are seen as healing energy because they brought the rain, which was seen as being cleansing. But being in reverse, it feels again like something got blocked or stuck in a certain way of being. Possibly also that, I'm going to bring the Two of Wands in here as well, because I think that this is relevant to this card here, that however you, whichever path you were going down, and here I just point out we've got the blue and the pink, so for me it comes through as like a masculine and a feminine type of energy. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be so, but it feels like this kind of choice or path of going either with your, like the blue being more the masculine, more the intellect, more the mind energy, and the pink being more the subtle heart energy. That there was maybe a disconnection or a distortion here. It feels like there was something like some kind of choice that you had to like something that wasn't, like you had to block it off again with this 3 down here, because the 3 relates to something that's kind of painful, a situation that's painful. It can often relate to a relationship that's got a lot of pain behind it. Again, wounded heart energy with this Queen here. Could also be misunderstandings. But it feels like an energy that kind of made you quite defensive as well. So if you see here, he's also lying on that sword, the 4. He's got the 3 swords down there, but he's got the 4th sword underneath him. So he's kind of lying there ready for something to come next, like not being able to fully relax, not being able to fully give himself the space and the time to be able to think things through. And I'm just saying he because it is a he, male or female, makes absolutely no difference. But again, kind of relating to these energies here with the masculine and the feminine. The masculine does relate more to the intellect and the mind, and the pink does relate more to the heart and the emotional. That's just how it's traditionally always been recognised. But it feels like a situation of kind of imbalance here, in the sense of somebody maybe wanting to go down one path but feeling that it wasn't the right path for them, that it was a path that wasn't, almost like they couldn't choose their own path. That this path was being, again, blocked or stopped. Something wasn't allowing that energy to just flow for you, because the 2 of Wands is about kind of an idea, an inspiration, following something through. Something that kind of, because it comes after the Ace, it's that initial idea and then the kind of first step into making something happen. So that's what is coming through for me, because there's steps, there's like these kind of steps here moving towards this, but because it's upside down, it kind of feels as though it was an energy that got stuck or blocked. Possibly could have stopped, had a kind of a big effect on your life. In the sense of going down a path that you may not necessarily have wanted to take, Pisces. So the energies that are coming into your present here is the High Priestess in reverse, which is kind of, for me, I'm seeing it as a similar kind of choice here. The High Priestess in reverse is saying that kind of similar to the Queen of Cups energy in a way. There's a blockage here. Again, that blockage, that kind of not wanting to go into the depth of something, not wanting to find out the source of something. The intuitive, the knowing. Because the High Priestess talks about going deeper into something, going down to, like I was saying, the depths, finding the source of a situation in order to be able to let it go and move on again, which is this kind of frog energy, as I was saying earlier, like this decluttering, clearing out your emotional issues or your kind of logical mental issues, the connection with the body as well, because it's all connected together, which could also be the feeling that I was getting of somebody who was quite kind of low in their energy. Why it's saying like look up, don't look down, because in this card she is looking down, but if you turn it up the other way, she's actually looking up towards the moon and acknowledging her emotions and her depth and her feelings. At the bottom here there is a scroll which says darkness into darkness, the key to all mystery. So it is talking about going into that depth where you may not want to go, Pisces, to find out something that you've buried quite deeply. Possibly because it is painful. We have the Devil as the very centre card here in reverse, and for me the centre card of the reading is always the heart. It's kind of saying to me this is why the rest of all of this is happening. So the Devil energy is literally talking about being in that place of entrapment, because he's sitting inside that cage even though the door is open, and he can release himself or walk away from whatever it is that's holding him in place, which is also his own fears. Because the Devil represents our fears. It represents the things that we don't, again, want to acknowledge or to look at. We don't want to go into those darker shadow energies that have affected our lives, because we're scared to find out the truth about something, maybe, which is also the High Priestess energy. She brings the truth to the surface for it to be looked at, but not if it's upside down. It's kind of deep, deep suppression. It's like you know it's there, but you're just going to keep burying it. You're just going to keep not acknowledging it. And after the Devil energy here, we have the Emperor. the Emperor's up the right way, which is one of the few cards on the table that is up the right way. And the Emperor today is kind of saying to me that this is about you kind of taking control of your domain, taking control of your life. Because here and here you're allowing other things to control you rather than you controlling it. That's what the Devil energy is about. Because you're burying this energy, or because you're not acknowledging it, or because it's kind of coming up at times that you least want it to arise. And it could come out in ways that are kind of unexpected and not very positive energies, not very productive energies. Like arguments and disagreements, and it all kind of stems back to this place here, which feels like this lack of love in your life, Pisces. But this Emperor energy for me is saying, you know, it's time for you to take that control back. It is time to become the master of your own destiny. To bring out that very positive masculine, because the Emperor is a very masculine energy, to bring it forth, to create something, because that's what the Emperor does. He creates outwardly in the physical world. He makes things concrete. If you see there, he's actually standing above a whole kind of city below him, like a metropolis type of place by the looks of it to me. But he's kind of like the all-powerful being that controls this energy down here, this city. And it's kind of saying that you have the ability to actually do that for yourself. Like, this is your domain, this is your world. And you're in the process, it feels, of actually kind of stepping into that energy, or you will be. But you do need to clear this out, Pisces. You do need to work on this energy and not ignore it, not subdue it, not pretend it's not there, in order to get to here, which is a much more powerful place for you to be in, rather than having others control you outwardly, which is what this is doing, and emotionally as well. Because that jester in the center of that cage can just leave at any time. So he kind of stays there by choice, because he's cowering in fear of what he doesn't want to look at, what he doesn't want to acknowledge. And the future energy that you're moving into here is a place of balance, and it's to do with, it's coins, so it's to do with pentacles, it's to do with money, but it feels more like as well that it's kind of it's a sense of understanding that in balance, in that give and that take, of that being able to accept what is given to you and not just always doing the giving, or vice versa. There is this balance, there is this like harmony that will be kind of, you'll see it in your outer world when you kind of come to that point within yourself. that in order to receive, you have to learn how to give, and like I was saying, in order to give, you have to learn how to receive. Otherwise, there is this imbalance, particularly in relationships. So this is what you're hoping for. This is what you're looking for. You're looking to be able to balance the scales here. And after this, we get the Eight of Cups in reverse. And this, for me, I feel is like this High Priestess energy, and this, I feel that this is you kind of going down into that depths. Kind of finally taking control. In a sense of kind of realizing that you have to allow yourself to walk away. There may be something here that you're not wanting to walk away from or to leave behind here, Pisces, but you need to go down into the depths and to clear this out. Whatever this is, whether this is childhood or whether this is a recent occurrence, because you don't want it to linger, you don't want to keep carrying it, you don't want to take this emotional charged energy into your future. And your future has the sun in it, but the sun is actually in reverse as well, but it's still a good card. But it's saying to me that it's going to take time. It's like it's not going to happen overnight. This is something that is going to take time, and you're going to have to be patient with yourself to get to the bottom of something, to illuminate something, to see something clearly, to see the whole picture. And again, if you see, he's kind of holding these different planets as well in his hands. And of course, everything evolves around the sun. It's like the sun is the heart energy of our world. You know, if we didn't have that light, that warmth, there would be no life. So the sun is kind of responsible for all of this. So it feels in a way like you kind of coming to that terms of that, kind of seeing that this is a part of your journey. And that's, you know, it's okay. It's all a part of the rich tapestry of life, shall we say. It's all interconnected. It's all interwoven. It's all right to go through these kind of emotional ups and downs, Pisces, and to be kind to yourself. Because ultimately it is your world that is going to be affected by it. And also ultimately it can change your world by going into your inner world. Rather than just focusing on the outer world. And also a realization that the two are connected. That you are kind of playing with this creative, I mean, it is a very creative card, the Sun card. It can also relate to Leo energy as well, being the Sun. Leo is ruled by the Sun. And Leo energy is all about courage, courage of the heart. Having the strength and the courage to do what needs to be done. In order to make things better. Okay, so let's see what the confirmation cards would like to tell you, Pisces. So Pisces, Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising and cusp energy of Pisces, please. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising. That one. Okay, we'll take those two. Okay, so over the top of the Queen of Cups, we have the Ten of Chalices in reverse and the Strength card in reverse, which is interesting because I was just talking about strength as being the Leo energy. So, Ten of Chalices in reverse. It's kind of saying to me that it wasn't a happy situation. It feels as though there wasn't a lot of happiness. With this Queen of Cups energy. Whatever this Queen of Cups means to you. Again, it can be a female energy in itself, but it doesn't have to be. But it could be a mother or a mother figure, somebody who played that part in your life. But it just feels as though it was an energy that was blocked and that there wasn't a lot of nurturing or caring or understanding. It feels like quite a strong, determined energy as well with the Strength card in reverse. It feels like an energy that was very determined but powerful. Very powerful energy. The Leo energy or the Strength card can also be, when it's up the right way, it can be an energy that is protective, but in a very kind of nurturing kind of way. But this feels more as though it was an energy of somebody who was very strong-willed, and liked to get their own way. With this Ten of Chalices. The 10 being kind of an ending, kind of something that ends, but it didn't end well. There wasn't a lot of happiness here, there wasn't a lot of joy, there wasn't a lot of, again, love in general is how it's coming through. Some of you, this could be a partner, a work situation, something that you fell out of love with, something that you didn't have the strength to continue with as well, in reverse. Could also be a feeling of your own strength being used against you. But it doesn't feel like a particularly easy situation to be in. Like the environment wasn't an easy environment to be in. And particularly for a sensitive Piscean as well. It's how it's coming through. It was kind of almost like somebody who just kept kind of just kept destroying your happiness. Almost like they didn't want you to be happy. They didn't want you to be strong. Again, I get this feeling very much, this person very much in command. And they may have come over, even if it was a female, it doesn't have to be, but they may have come over in a very kind of masculine energy rather than using the more feminine side of their energy. They came through with a very masculine driven energy. Powerful character. And yet at the same time kind of emotionally quite weak. We have the Knight of Wands over the top of your Four of Swords. This is coming through as an energy of it feels, again, it feels like this controlling energy. Like something or somebody, a situation that kind of had control over you rather than you having control over it, Pisces. Because if you see there, the figure is kind of wrapped up in all this like charged energy. And it could be that this kind of situation, whatever this was, that you kind of kept soaking all of this up as well. Being a Piscean, it's very easy to be, especially if this is to do with childhood, but even so, this is kind of feels like a situation of somebody who kind of soaked up all this energy, soaked up all this feeling, kind of like a negativity, caught up in it, wrapped up in it, not being able to escape it, and just wanting to hide from it. With this Four of Swords here in reverse as well, just wanting to be able to hide, to get away from it. But it had a powerful control. Over your life in general is how it feels. Like it had a powerful control, like it was even from a distance, it feels as though it still had quite a strong effect on you. And we have the Death card over the top of your Two of Wands here. So this did bring on a big transformation. In reverse, it feels as though it could have been, as I was saying about this masculine, this feminine, it feels as though a part of you may have even kind of, I don't mean physically died, but like a part of you kind of went into, again, similar to this energy here that I'm feeling, a part of you kind of gave up or buried. It feels like something that's buried. This white rose, it feels to me like it's kind of being buried below the ground, like this is the upper bit and this is the kind of lower part, and that this part of you, whatever this was, is kind of spiritual, maybe kind of more kind of the gentle nature of you, that essence of who you are, Pisces, was kind of buried below the surface, is how it's feeling. That's how it's coming through. Like you made a kind of almost like a conscious decision, but it wasn't a conscious decision, if you know what I mean. To kind of put a part of you aside. And it's linked in with this energy here, this masculine and this feminine energy. And the path that you kind of decided to take here. Which for me is coming through as kind of more like the logical mind energy and the more emotional heart energy. And trying to fit into and understand something on a deeper level. You had to kind of let go of a part of yourself. And I feel that that's what the High Priestess is kind of saying to you now. That it's time to go back there and retrieve that part of yourself, Pisces. And because you've got the Devil in the centre, it may be that you're not wanting to go there. You don't want to acknowledge possibly the pain from past situation here. Yeah, because we have the Five of Chalices. Again, it's about the emotions. And here the Five of Chalices in reverse. And there's 3 wine glasses. I don't know if you can see, there's a person there leaning over the top into this whirling kind of space here. And there's a river. If I turn it up that way, you can see it better. You can see that he's dropping these glasses down into this river. And actually on the side here, there are 2 wine glasses still standing, but his focus is very much on these 3. And the loss and the sadness and the sorrow. But again, because it's in reverse, it's something that you're not wanting to acknowledge, you're not wanting to look at. It's kind of how it's coming through. It's almost like you know that there's something there that you need to go and look at. You know that there's like these glasses in a way kind of connecting me to this rose as well. There's something that you've kind of put in the past. And it's interesting as well, because on either side of the devil we have very feminine and very masculine energies. The High Priestess being that kind of feminine, knowing, intuitive world. That's not to say that just women are that way. I'm not saying that, but it is more of a kind of understanding on some level that women tend to lean more towards that kind of thing. And then you have the masculine, because women create inwardly as well, whereas men create outwardly. So you have the kind of feminine and the masculine on either side, which is also what I was seeing here as well. The feminine and the masculine energy. So it feels to me as though kind of one of those was kind of buried, or was subdued, or was kind of not allowed to express itself in the way that you wanted to, would have liked to. So that almost like that was what you had to let go of. Again, this side of yourself, and you're kind of maybe now becoming more aware of it. And you're like with the devil energy, it's kind of saying, you know, you can't ignore it forever. The High Priestess is kind of saying the same thing, but the devil energy is kind of saying to me that, you know, if you want to break free from this, you have to acknowledge your fears, your possible addictions, your victimhood, your all those things that hold you back, stop you from moving forward, keep you small and kind of in place, if you like. Particularly me around authority figures as well, quite possibly. That is a very interesting card to get over the top of the devil. You've got the illumination card, Pisces, and the illumination card is the unknown. If you see here, it is in reverse, but there is this like question mark at the very bottom of that card there, and I'm kind of seeing it similarly to this pentacle energy here. You've got this pentacle energy, and then here you've got all of this. It's like all potential is there. All possibilities are there within this swirling spiral. So it's like this is what's controlling, and this is you kind of breaking free from that control, so that you're no longer blocking that energy or resisting that energy, allowing this to come through, even though it is in reverse. Again, I feel as though it's kind of saying it's not going to be a quick, that's a little cat sitting down there, it's not going to be a quick overnight event. This is something that you have to work on, work through, give some time to. But it's like saying to me that it's full of potential. There is so much potential here, and kind of freedom. A sense of freedom, a sense of opening up to this freedom of who you are, who you should be, who you could be. Who you've kind of blocked off, that part of yourself that hasn't been allowed to completely express. And I'm also getting the word believe again as well. Believe is coming through quite strongly with this card. Believe in you, believe in your potential, believe in your ability. That's quite interesting. You got the Temperance card over the top of the Emperor energy here, and I'm literally seeing this as kind of something that's going to wash this away. Temperance is all about flow. It's about, again, it can be to do with this energy here, this masculine and this feminine. It's about bringing things together. The Temperance energy is it's like I keep saying it, but it is about balance. It is about, it's like this alchemical marriage of this, of these two different parts of you, your energy coming together. Again, it was in reverse the way that it came out. So again, it feels as though this isn't an easy journey. This is about you allowing things to change, having the courage to look within. But today it's just coming through like this massive waterfall. And again, that's interesting because I'm going back to this energy here as well, this frog spirit energy. So I was talking about water, cleansing, clearing, decluttering, and how it's feeling is this energy is kind of going to sweep through and clear all of this out. All of this, because it feels like this could well be a kind of imbalance in a way, like this masculine energy. Again, it doesn't have to be a man. I could be talking to a woman here as well. I'm not just saying that this is men only, because women can be very masculine and men can be very feminine, as we know. And but it feels like washing this out, like this overly masculine part of your personality or your nature or your kind of a way of overcompensating, shall we say, is what's coming through. Literally letting in the emotion, letting in that water, that emotional flowing creative energy here to clear out. It feels like kind of the past energy in a way. Or remember to have this balance of the masculine and the feminine working together. Pisces is also how it's coming through. Although it says that the Emperor is an Aries energy, I always tend to see the Emperor more as a Leo energy. like king of the jungle, the big boss. You don't argue with. So again, and also like looking at this card as well, I'm seeing this sun symbol right over the center of his heart. So it's kind of saying, it's, for me, it's kind of saying the heart chakra energy here, the courage, as I was talking about earlier. Like the courage to stand up and allow this other side of your nature to be seen or accepted, acknowledged by yourself as well as by others around you, Pisces. But it does feel, pardon me, sorry, more like a sense of balance here, which is interesting because it literally leads into the six of coins, which is all about balance, fairness, harmony, which is also all the things that Temperance is looking for as well. She wants balance and harmony and fairness in relationships, and not to come too much from one part of your personality. Not to allow one side to override the other. To know when to be strong and when to allow a more gentle approach to things. So over the top of the Seven of Coins here, we have the Six of Coins. We have the Six of Wands, which is a nice card to get because this talks about a victory. A light at the end of the tunnel is how I always see this card here. Like you're heading in the right direction. You're heading towards the light at the end of the tunnel here. By taking action, by balancing things out, by learning about your own, possibly your own insecurities and your own fears and your own defenses and possibly addictions, as I was saying. For some of you Pisceans, victimhood. The Six of Wands is talking about an initial victory, something that is not a full victory because there's still more time and effort and energy to be put into the situation. But it is saying that you've got to a certain point and that you should acknowledge that, you should celebrate that within you, you should see that you are getting to this kind of balance and this much more harmonious side of your own, like balancing up that distorted energy. And like seeing results inwardly and outwardly. So what you're mirroring, what you're feeling inside is being mirrored outside of you. With this sense of like, you know, I say sense of victory, sense of like, I did that, that was me, I did that, I got myself to that place, I have achieved this, It's that kind of energy. It's kind of like other people acknowledging that as well. Like other people seeing what you have done and being able to recognize that within you. And over the top of the Eight of Cups, we have the Queen of Wands. Which is interesting because it is a very kind of magnetic energy, the Queen of Wands. She is the kind of energy of attraction. Very magnetic personality, very fiery, but also very creative, very driven, knows what she wants, particularly when she's up the right way. So it feels, again, it feels to me as though this is you kind of being in control here. Like with the Eight of Cups, it's like this is what you're going to discover about yourself, about your personality, that this is the part of you that has been kind of held back, controlled. With this Knight of Wands here as well. And also there's that kind of that white flower. If you look closely, she's kind of holding this white flower, which I feel is this flower here in the Death card. She's very creative, she's very, she's very self-confident as well, the Queen of Wands. Very beautiful. Again, doesn't have to be female, male or female. But I feel on some level that it is to do with acceptance of that side of your personality and that nature. It's like this coming back to life in a way. Like this is what you, as you go down into the depths, to look at your story, your past, your history, what you're going to discover here, Pisces, is this side of you. This amazingly creative, magnetic personality that people are drawn to. And it feels like a blooming of something, re-blooming, something kind of coming out of the darkness. With this Eight of Cups here, something coming out. This is what you're going to discover on this journey of self-discovery. As you start self-discovering, you are going to discover this incredible side of your own nature, which I feel, as I was saying, is what you buried, Pisces. You buried it way back when you didn't feel you didn't have the strength to do anything else. But now it's coming forth, or it will be, because this is the future energy. Again, as I was saying, it's not going to happen overnight. This is something that's going to happen progressively. But it's going to make you feel good. It's going to make you feel stronger. There could even be somebody who enters your life who has those qualities, of the Queen of Wands. Somebody who's very loyal. Somebody who is very strong in who she is. She's very again, self-confident is what's coming through. There's a confidence about her that I feel that you have lacked, Pisces. But if this energy enters into your life, it's because it's connecting with your own personality. It's connecting with that side of who you are. So it's saying kind of bring this forth. If you're attracted to this energy, somebody enters your life that you think, oh, that's an attractive energy, I wish I could be like that kind of thing, then what it's saying is that you already are like that, but you just haven't released it or reconnected with it yet. But I feel as though you will do. There's a whole lot of potential in this reading. That's what's coming through strongly. A whole lot of buried potential. So before I forget, I will just say about the cusp energy. If you're at the 0 degree of Pisces, you're going to be leaving the Aquarian energy. So you may want to check out the reading that I put up for Aquarius as well. And if you're at the 29 degrees of Pisces, you will be moving into the Aries energy. So you might want to check out the Aries video that I put out earlier. A few weeks back now. Also, for any of you who are interested, there is a playlist where you can check out my videos. I do all the full and the new moon, as well as the tarot and astrology for both of them, and all of the sun signs as well. Also, if you have got anything from this video at all, Pisces, please could you thumbs it up for me. Also, cross watchers as well. If you're anybody out there who's watching this for Pisces that they're involved with, want to be involved with, or have been involved with, just be aware that this could also be your story that is being told here. If it resonates with you, then it could be your story that you're listening to. So yeah, please thumbs it up. The more likes it gets, the more it gets put out into the bigger YouTube world. And also subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, please could you do that as well, because that really helps to grow my channel, which is what I'm really trying to do at the moment. I know I haven't done a Pisces reading for a long time, but that's because I had a very strong square energy with Saturn and Jupiter. When they conjuncted, they squared my Mars and my Mercury, so everything kind of just grounded to a halt. And as it was such big energy, I just thought I don't want to kind of try and fight that, so I just stopped. But I am back again. So if you're wanting to subscribe to my channel, there will be a subscription button on the video, or also taking them, or on the underneath the video, depending on, I think it changes, but I'm not sure. Also, before I forget, there will be that little bell that comes up as well, so tap that bell and see whether or not you want to get my videos as and when they come out. So the Page of Wands has come out over the top of the Sun energy, and the Page of Wands is always a new energy, or a young energy, should I say. So it feels like this is kind of an early stirring of you kind of coming back into your power here, particularly over the top of the Sun energy. It feels like this is a reconnecting with this kind of source energy, this your own inner sun, shall we say, your own inner, because it's all very creative energy, all very Wands, creative, bright, happy, cheerful, confident. And the Page of Wands is also an energy of kind of, how can I put it, kind of leaving a situation behind and moving into another situation. Feels to me that this is a bit like you creating a new world, a new life for yourself. The Page of Wands can be very direct energy, but because he's in reverse, it's kind of saying that there's still, like, there's all this stuff still that needs to be looked into and worked through. But it's all very, it's fire, so it's creativity. It can be spiritual, it can be actual creativity itself, like music, art, all that kind of creative driven passion. But again, it feels like not rushing it, allowing yourself to not try and get to the end before you actually, it's like taking small steps. Taking small steps and enjoying the experience on the way, because that's something else that the Page of Wands, or all pages, they want to experience, they want to learn, and the only way that they learn and grow is by experience. So there may be a tendency or a desire here, Pisces, for you to kind of cut out the middle part of this and just kind of try and get to the end, to jump from kind of A to B and not experience, or A to C and not experience B in between. But you're going to do yourself a disservice if you do that, because you may miss out on some important elements that are going to help with your growth. So don't be, in some ways, don't be overconfident. Don't kind of try and jump beyond where you have started, because it does feel like baby steps are needed here. Because it is about reconnecting, and it feels like it's kind of reconnecting with this energy again, this energy here. I'm kind of seeing this kind of connecting with this. This is like your energy, as I was saying, your essence, and this is going into the ground here. And it's also kind of saying to me as well that you can't rush growth. You can't force something to happen. You can't force growth to happen before it's ready. So you need to allow the experiences to come, to happen, to be there. and to immerse yourself in them. Also, without trying to take too much control. Pisces is what's coming through as well. Like, don't try to control it too much. Because this isn't about control. This is about experience. This is about kind of going back to the drawing board, if you like, and starting again afresh. So the Abraham Hicks cards say, my desires and beliefs are only thoughts. So your desires and beliefs are just thoughts. Ask and it is given. You ask through your attention, through your wanting, through your desire. That is the asking. Whether you desire it to happen or you desire it not to happen, you are asking. So basically it's saying wherever you put your attention is what you're going to receive. What you focus on is what you are going to bring into your life. So if you like with this card here, if you're in this energy, focusing all your time and your energy on this, which is kind of bringing you down, and earlier on I felt this real, as I was saying, this real sense of just kind of low energy, and just this almost like giving up kind of feeling, like it was too much, too hard. So that's what this is saying for me, that if you are focusing everything on this in a negative way, if you're keeping yourself in this cage and just allowing all of these thoughts and this energy to control you, because your mind is going over and over this same, coming from the same pattern, from the same conditioning, then you're just going to see more of the same here. So whether you want it or whether you don't want it isn't going to make any difference. If you're focused on it, it will become your reality, is really what it's saying. Again, if you don't know who Abraham Hicks is, then you could always go and look them up. There's a lot of information online about Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks, Jerry Hicks. Abraham's a channeled energy or channeled entity. The law of attraction, which has been around forever, because that's how it works, but it's only now that that information is being allowed to become more mainstream, shall we say. And as we move more into the Aquarian age, there's going to be a lot more recognition of that. So we have fluorite, simplicity, which is interesting again, because the frog spirit talking about decluttering, and when you declutter something, you do make things much more simple. Life becomes simpler without all that fog in your head or all that emotional baggage that you carry. So 16. So it's the crown chakra, and it is purple. And And it says, envision a desert scene miles from anywhere. You are surrounded by the bare bush or brush on the desert floor. In the distance you see mesas rising from the earth and reaching for the sky. Hawks circle, small animals scurry, snakes slither. A peaceful stillness lies over all. This is a place of purity, far from the distractions, noise and confusion of the world you have become so accustomed to. This is a place that knows itself. It does not need a national burger chain for identity. It is comfortable with who it is. The simplicity of the desert is a symbol of an uncluttered existence. Honestly, you cannot make this up. You really, really can't. Going back to the frog, clear out the clutter. So where were we? Do you long for a simplification of your demanding life? Freedom from complexity and overstimulation opens a space within you to entertain some of the profound questions that need to be asked. That's kind of that heart chakra energy that I was picking up on earlier, I feel. Opening up. What is life? Why am I here? How can I help? Is there more to my existence than this everyday humdrum? If so, how can I get in touch with it? That could also be this card here as well. Which, remember, is over the top of this devil energy. Where is the room in your busy schedule for asking these questions or receiving any answers? Perhaps the issue of whether those questions need to be asked and answered has not risen in your life, but you may wonder why you often feel an emptiness and longing to fill this void. You may try food or shopping trips to the mall, but unfortunately material goods do not satisfy your need. The dress you buy may hang in your closet for months before you wear it. The fishing tackle may stay unused even longer. The fulfilled feeling you search for can only be found by stripping away the extraneous from your life. Then the true essence of your existence will be revealed. That's what I was talking about here with this rose. I feel this is your true essence here, Pisces. Does this mean that you need to become a monk or a nun? Not unless you feel a calling for those vocations. Are we suggesting that you throw out all your belongings and reject material goods? That could be unrealistic. It is essential, though, to disentangle yourself from the chaos that surrounds you and all that feeds it. The frenzy of your day-to-day lives is pervasive. You cannot escape it unless you make a conscious effort. Again, this could be that devil energy. Have you chosen our card today because you want to return to a more basic life? Do you feel a need to reprioritise what is truly important and essential? Would you like to replace savoir-faire and sophistication in your interactions with purity and integrity? Do you dream of a return to innocence? That could also be this card here as well. Pages are often an innocent energy. Your desire is the first step from which a new lifestyle can grow. A next step might be to sit down and make 2 lists side by side. One would contain the fundamentals you consider necessary for a fulfilled life. The other would include your current life activities and possessions. Does your life today support the life plan you would like to build for tomorrow? If the 2 lists are at odds with each other, consider how you can bring them into harmony. Make adjustments in your life based on what your heart tells you. It could also be this energy here, as I was talking about balance, harmony, fairness. Acknowledge the psychological overcrowding that you are forcing yourself to endure. This is a pollution of your spirit for which a decontamination may be required. To move from your jam-packed existence to one of simplicity, free yourself from the unfulfilling patterns that hold you back. The crown chakra is the place where ultimate simplicity and ultimate complexity coexist. This chakra holds universal wisdom to be used in physical incarnation, the ability to distill the many truths into the truth. It could also be this energy here as well. Fluorite's purple energy assists the crown chakra by helping you see the larger picture beyond the clutter of your daily existence. A return to simplicity may require getting into a different environment to break the spell of the siren's call to routine. Production and competition. A place of solitude would provide a conducive environment where you could quietly and mindfully face yourself and your life questions. If this is impossible at this time, take time every day to meditate or find a quiet place out in nature to relax and think. Some people touch into that stillness while running or exercising. Discover where it is that you can quiet and center yourself to do your important inner work. A washing away of worldly concerns. Fascinations and preoccupations will clear your mind and spirit to receive. Simplify your life. Purge yourself to the addiction to the fast lane. Devil energy again. And all its baggage. Step off that express train to nowhere. Let your spiritual destination be the unspoiled and serene environment of the desert. Simplicity is the path to awareness and fulfillment waiting for you there. So Pisces, I'm going to finish your reading there and say I hope that it has been of some help to you. I hope that you have got some benefit from it. If you have, please could you thumbs it up, as I was saying earlier, subscribe as well. Also share it with other people if you feel that somebody you know may get some benefit from it as well. If they're in a similar predicament at this time, please feel free to do so. Also check out my playlist, as I was saying earlier as well, and thank you very much for listening, and please take really good care of yourselves at this time. Hopefully see you again soon.